So,
Hello.
hello, how are you?
Hello.
Becky.
Hi, Becky. How are you? It's good to see you, sweet Becky.
So look at the chat. Go ahead and look in the chat and see that you can type in there for us. Tell us where you're, type in where
type.
Type in.
And Becky, mute yourself. Stay muted so we don't get background noise. Thanks. Yeah. Cracking.
Awesome. So go ahead and type in the chat where you're coming from. Ooh, awesome. We got someone from Austria today. Great. Suzanne can hear us and see us. I hear there's excellent, exciting congratulations in order for Suzanne. We've got New York in the house, Philly. Love it. Ooh, we got some Canadians. Ooh, I don't even know if I can pronounce that. Kelowna, BC. Kelowna. There's my Texan coming out. So my apologies. If I butchered that, I apologize. Oh, Vegas. What's up, Vegas? Cool. I'm loving this. So I'm going to allow a few more people in there. You want to say hi, Michelle? Oh, hold on. Wait. Michelle is for some reason, she's muted.
I'm so sorry. Hi, here I am. Hi, everybody. I'm just reading this chat, seeing who's coming in. Welcome from all over. Some people I know, some people not, I don't know that well, but most of you I know, so that's super cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, everyone welcome. So again, if you want to type into the chat where you're calling from, what's up, Baltimore, South Carolina.
Shaka is having a problem, she says, with her audio or her video.
Is anyone else? Everyone can hear us, correct? Can we get a thumbs up from
now?
Okay, cool.
Shaka says she can see us but not hear us.
So that sounds like something going on your end.
Yeah, are you unmuted, Shaka? Let's look. And
yes, are you?
Oh, it's breaking up, Shaka. So,
Yeah.
Maybe go out and come back in.
And if you are not muted, please mute yourself. Most of you are muted right now, so otherwise we're going to get some feedback and background noise.
Yeah, we don't want that for the transcripts, especially so you guys can, watch the replay and it's not noisy.
Absolutely. So
I put my bird to bed, so so she wouldn't scream.
All right, so here we are. There's quite a few of you in here. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you can see us. Shaka, I really hope that you're able to join us, and let's see.
Yeah, and Shaka, don't worry, because if you miss anything, you're taking the course and you're gonna know everything. So, don't freak about it.
And you can always watch the
replay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna
Cherie has a question about her video. So that's for you. If you have the ability at the very, very bottom, there might be an X through your video. You can undo that and make your video settings show a picture if anyone wants to know that. So that was Cherie's question. She was wondering how to make her video work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Well, everyone so far I think is ready to go. So I'm going to just go ahead and introduce myself real fast because there's a lot of new faces and new names on here that I don't know. So my name is Brianna Drella. I'm a performing artist consultant based out of Dallas, Texas. I'm actually Michelle's coach. So she and I work together. She's writing a book. She's obviously doing a really fabulous course. So those are things that I've been working with her on. I'm a singer-songwriter as well and do like vocal and performance coaching. So there's a lot of things that I do. But most importantly, I'm a consultant for creatives for their music business. So
like me.
I do. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Even I need a coach for some things. Yes.
Yeah, awesome. We all do, right? So
we all do. It's awesome.
So anyway, that's why I'm here. And ultimately I'm just trying to empower Michelle to be able to bring this information to you. And I'm super thrilled to be here. I love working with Michelle. And if you don't know Michelle, she's incredible. And I'm just really happy you're here. So basically today, Michelle is obviously going to tell you a quick little something about herself, although some of you may already know about all the amazing things that she's done. She's going to dive deep into metadata, cue sheets, and also music industry players, their roles and who they are and what they do. And she's going to open it up for a few questions. We did a huge Q&A last Tuesday or last Thursday. It was 2 hours long. So I'll be sure to put in the chat the replay for that. If for some reason you missed it last week, you'll definitely want to check that out. Today's training is not going to be 2 hours. Okay, we're going to try and definitely keep it within the 45-minute hour mark. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up that we will not be answering all questions. We will answer a few. And we will stick around till about 4 o'clock at the latest. So that's what you can expect. And then if you want to stick around, Michelle's going to tell us all about her live coaching course, which is going to launch actually next week. She's already got quite a few people in it, which I'm very, very excited for them and for Michelle. It's going to be really incredible. And the best part about it is that you're really going to get that one-on-one and group setting with Michelle to have access to her and just really create some really great momentum for you in your careers as a sync and music licensing professional. So, okay, that's what you can expect from today. I'm going to let Michelle take it away.
So everybody, I'm so glad you're here. Brianna, thank you so much. Brianna's helping me with the book that I'm writing and with all this course tech stuff because my tech skills are not my best. And best attribute, we all have a fatal flaw, and that's fine. I managed to do my business just fine. So here we are, and I see so many people I know. And first of all, I want to congratulate Suzanne, who's here right now, for getting a nomination. Suzanne, come on, Mike. Was it? I just saw it 2 seconds before I had to get on the Zoom. So was it a song for songwriting or was it for singing? Which one was it?
Oh, hi. How are you today?
Good, thanks. How are you? Do you have a video to show your pretty face?
For some reason, it's not going on. I don't know. It went to safe driving mode. I don't know why.
Well, but anyway, I'm so excited for your HMMA award and nomination. And what was it for? Tell everybody.
It's for a track called By the Fireside. And I work with my father. My father and I both compose music. And so this song is called By the Fireside, and I'm playing saxophone on it. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it's within the jazz category, right? So are you a writer? Are you the writer as well as the performer?
I've done some of the writing, but my father, for this particular song, my father did a lot of it, but I've done a lot. I write a lot.
No,
of music,
I know
so
that.
But this nomination, he did most of the writing.
Gotcha. That's awesome. That's congratulations to both of you then. Super exciting. So I just wanted to start off with that. And I think you all are here because you sort of know what I do, so I won't waste too much time on that. But I'm a producer, a songwriter. I'm also a music publisher. I publish my own catalog for most all of my career, which is 40 years. And I have gazillions of placements, over 5,000 music placements. And I also write for artists, and I've had hit songs all over the world and blah, 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 blah. But this isn't really about me. So this is like about you. So I want to empower you all to learn how to do what I do. And I love doing it. I love coaching and teaching, and I feel that there's enough work to go around. So that's my thing. And I'm going to just start today. I'm just going to make sure everybody's muted and make sure that the videos are off if you're not on camera, because I see some people are not muted. Maybe, Brianna, we can figure. I can't. Oh, you're the host, Brianna. Yeah. I think you have to mute them.
I'll take care of that. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Rockin'. Awesome. So today I wanted to discuss a lot of the key players. Some of you might already know this, some of you might not, but we'll just start with that. And then if we have some questions about it, we can have some. So first of all, we all, I know, are here because we want to do sync, right? And that's a funny term because when I started out, there was nothing even called sync. You were just sort of getting a song in a movie or a song in an ad or a TV show. And actually it was very unsexy, and most writers did not want to do it back when I started doing it. My first placement was in 1987, and most people thought it was really, really low class. And then when I started working on the soap operas in 1993, all my friends thought it was really low class, until the few of them who started to do it started seeing how much money they were making, and then started telling the other people in our group who weren't working and doing it, and they all wanted to come jump on the bandwagon with me and write. And so that was pretty amazing and eye-opening, that even though people thought it wasn't cool and was low class, none of us cared because we were making some money. So basically now sync is kind of like the final frontier, right? Because, you know, with streaming, artists aren't making any money, but it's still awesome to stream. I'm not saying don't do that. It's awesome. And it's awesome to have your songs on CDs and sell them, and vinyl and record labels, and everything is awesome. But since the money has dried up because of streaming, people are even more interested in sync. So I guess then we'll start with our key player, right? Our key player in sync is the music supervisor. And our job is to serve the music supervisor. It's not that the music supervisor serves us. We serve the music supervisor with our music, our time, our proper metadata, which we're going to talk about because everybody's talking about it, I know. And actually, that's a pretty new thing too. So, but we're here to give them what they want. If they want it in a format of a 48 wave, a 44 wave, an MP3, if they want it on disco, if they want it on Dropbox, if they want it on a SoundCloud, if they want an MP3, whatever they want, that is our mission, to provide it their way. So not to say to them, oh, I can't make you a 48 wave, or, oh, I don't use Dropbox. You know, I guess we're just supposed to figure out how to use these things that they want. So that's them. And the music supervisors, their job is to pick the songs. Obviously, we know that, to pick the songs for the TV shows, for the movies, the games, the ads, the trailers. But their job is also to serve. Their job is to serve the production. So they have a really hard job that we have to be respectful of, because they have to serve the producers and the directors of their project. So they are not the God. Everybody thinks, oh, the music supervisor, well, they can just place my song, you know, it's their fault. But it's not, because they have to present X amount of songs to the project they're working on, and then get approval for those songs for what the producers or the directors want, to fill all kinds of cues. And they also work with the composers. So if there's a composer on board, so their jobs are super difficult. So I feel like we have to be respectful of that, because a lot of times I know with my fellow songwriters, they're getting angry with the music supervisors, but you know, they have like thousands of songs. People are pitching to them every day. So then you say, okay, so how do I stand out? Well, you know, how you stand out, which you might already know, but we'll just mention, is that you, first of all, have amazing music. You have amazing music that's recorded fabulously, the vocals are tuned, that everything's in time, that is sang beautifully, that is fully produced, not a guitar vocal, not a lyric that you just send. And that's how we're going to provide the correct material for the music supervisors to make their lives easier, to make sure they get good material, so you don't send them bad stuff and they get angry and burn the bridge. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to make sure we have all our metadata, which we're going to talk about in a little while, embedded in those MP3s that we're going to send via some kind of link that they want, so it's correct. We're going to pitch them songs we hope they want. If we're pitching for a specific project like Grey's Anatomy, we don't want to send them a heavy metal song or a country song, because anybody who watches Grey's Anatomy knows they use singer-songwriter songs that are very quiet and dark and introspective. And so we're going to watch shows and pay attention. However, I personally humbly do send new songs that I create to the music supervisors with a note that basically will say, to have handy, should you use this, and tell them what the genre is and what the song is. Some people advise against that, but I think it's perfectly fine if you do it in a polite way and it's a music supervisor you know, and you want to keep them abreast of one new song at a time. I think that it's okay. Now, some of the other key players are like A&R people, right? The record labels. So the artist and repertoire is what A&R stands for. So the A&R people, they take care of the artists, and they take care of their repertoire, which is their music. So with some artists, like let's say Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood, Celine Dion, for instance, those artists use outside songs. So they're not writing, they're not self-contained, they're not self-contained in writing all their own material. So the A&R person's job, along with the managers, that the A&R person will work with the artist manager, is to help find material. Their job also is, if the artist writes, to help compile collaborations with other songwriters. So that's an opportunity to co-write with an artist, or the opportunity just to submit songs to the A&R people. And now you say, oh, but they're not going to listen to my song. So let's just say the playing field is equal. They're kind of bored with me. I send them songs and they've known me forever, and you might have an amazing song and they discover you as a writer, producer, or writer, either one. You don't have to be both, so don't get nervous. And you send them a song, and out of the blue, they're tired and bored of me, and they put your song on, and they're like, oh my God, who is this new writer? Oh my God, this is amazing. Like, for instance, today I was on the Sync Cafe that I watch every day, and it's an amazing group, and so many people here are in that group. And they were doing covers of a Duran Duran song called Girls on Film. And every single cover that these writers and producers created in this Facebook group, oh my God, they were amazing. Any music supervisor would want to discover those. So these are new people, we know, but they need to pitch their songs so that they can get their music out there, and the same to the music supervisors and to the A&R. So of every big cut and placement that I have gotten, pretty much I have pitched cold to these people. I have not known all of them. Some of them I knew a little bit. You know, some of them I just I pitched a song to Rodney Jerkins, if you all know who he is. And he called me because the title was cool. The title is called Boyfriend in a Box, and everybody wanted to cut that song. So the title stood out, and he loved the song so much, he actually called me. I had never met him before or known him, but I knew the song would be good for Brandy, his artist, one of his artists at the time. So, you know, there are so many opportunities and ways to get to these people. So anyway, those are another key player. Now there's sync agents, and I know that first of all, if you've been on the Sync Cafe, you know that Mark Freezer, who runs it, is a sync agent, and there are many, many sync agents. And sync agents rep songs of songwriters like us, all of us, for synchronization. They don't usually rep songs for A&R people. Song pluggers do that. So song pluggers do both. They act as sync agents, and they also pitch to artists. So they're really important players to have on your team, and you can have more than one. I do it non-exclusively, and I work with quite a few sync agents and song pluggers. A couple that I work with only do ads pretty much. A couple do everything. One really focuses on TV. And so in addition to pitching directly to the music supervisors and the A&R people, I also pitch to the song pluggers to get them on board, and work with me to keep them with constant new song supplies of even past songs, because I have songs from the 1980s and 1990s. So if there's some people here who are old like me and you have an older catalog, that's awesome too. Those songs are super useful. So that's how they work. They work as a middleman, you know, so that way I don't have to pitch something directly. Like one of my sync agents wrote me yesterday that he was pitching to a certain show, and he had sent all these songs, and I've never pitched to that show. So how awesome is that, right? You know, that's like a gift to me, because I just didn't get around to pitching for that. And so, but that's like one of his focuses. So that's super awesome. So it's great, you know, he takes a percentage, and it's great to have those people on board. They usually take 20-30%, some take 50%. It's okay for me, you know, if I believe that they're really amazing, to do that. Some don't take any back end, some only take front end. And an A&R person doesn't take any percentage, and a music supervisor doesn't take any percentage. Their jobs are to, you know, they get paid to do their jobs. They don't take a piece. But sync agents and song pluggers, usually they work on spec. So because of that, they get a piece. That's their payment. So they are like songwriters, actually, right? Because they're waiting to get paid. So they're also pitching and waiting to get paid. But anyway, they're awesome, and I love them, and they're great to have on our teams. And now, you know, some of you I know do music libraries, and so I've chatted with quite a few writers in the last week about their uses in the music libraries. And now I do both non-exclusive and exclusive. And I know everyone here, and they've heard those terms. So exclusive libraries represent songs exclusively. Usually they represent the writer exclusively, not just songs, but sometimes it just represents certain songs. I only do exclusives if it's a commission. So in other words, if it's like last summer, I did a 10-song commission for a company called Manhattan Music, and it was an EDM commission of dance music. And they told me specifically what they wanted, sent me samples of what they wanted them like, and I created that. They paid for those songs. Those were not songs from my catalog that already existed. And if anybody wants to hear examples of that, if you go to my website, which is sweetersongs.com, you will see a section in the Listen To songs of libraries. And you will see all the songs I created for all the libraries I've worked for. And those songs I don't own. Those songs were paid for to me to be in these exclusive libraries. And I get the writer's share and of the back end, and they get the publisher's share. On some of the libraries, I also get half the sync fees. Those libraries is because they paid me less upfront, or they only paid for the expenses. They didn't pay me per song, so instead they're giving me a piece of the sync fees. But you can hear what library music sounds just like any amazing song that you're going to create. And I love exclusive libraries that commission me. But I don't want to put songs already in my existing library in an exclusive library and tie them up like that. I personally don't think it's a good idea, don't recommend it, but if people want to do it, there's other mentors who love that and do it all the time. I know one person who has one library for all his trailer music, and one library for all his ad music, one library for all his film and TV music, and that's super awesome for him. You know, it's easier for him because he doesn't have to work so hard pitching it. But of course, he's in a library with 50,000 other tracks. So, you know, it's not so easy. One person I know who does it does only instrumentals, and a lot of music libraries are instrumental music heavy, and it's easy for him because he can create 5-10 pieces a day. He's so fast, so that's great, that's fine. He's just creating and creating and creating, and the odds are, you know, with all that music and thousands of pieces he creates, that probably is going to get some placed. So he's banking on that. So we're all different. I make vocal music. It takes 100 hours to make a vocal piece. That's awesome. And, you know, it's takes so much more time. So I don't want to tie up my productions and songs in an exclusive library. But there are some really amazing, awesome, non-exclusive libraries. There's tons of them now. And I enjoy them very, very much. There's one I especially love. They're very selective, called Crucial Music. So you can all take note of that. And they put a song of mine in Orange is the New Black this year, and a song of mine in that big Dolly Parton, Jennifer Aniston movie Dumplin' this year. So how awesome is that, right? Like, we clap for them. I mean, thrilled, right? They share the sync fee with me. I keep the writer's share. Awesome, love them. and it's non-exclusive. So I can do now whatever else I want with the songs. Which brings me to some of the conversation I've had with some writers this week who are concerned that like they have a song in a non-exclusive library or two, and they think that's too many. And they're afraid to now pitch their songs directly or with a plugger or anybody. Well, kind of that's insane, because the whole purpose of it is it's non-exclusive. So if it's non-exclusive, that means you can do whatever you want with song. And if you want to have them in a dozen libraries, that's your business. And then they say, well, the music supervisors don't like it because too many people pitch them the same song. Yeah, sometimes that happens, but it really doesn't happen that much. And in my long career, I have never, ever, ever had somebody come and yell at me and tell me too many people pitch in the same song. Oh, but maybe tonight they will. So I'm gonna give myself some bad karma, but hopefully it's all good. It seems to have been all good. And I recently, worked with a new plugger who I sent them songs that actually I don't have in many libraries. I thought, okay, let's try that. Let's see what that would be like to have someone repping, not exclusively, but still some songs that are less placed, because I have some songs that have been placed 40, 50 times, the same song. It's so weird. Everybody, you love your children so much, right? We all love our babies, our songs. But for some reason, some song they like better than others. And you're like perplexed going, but what about my other baby? My other baby needs a home. So, but that's just what happens. So I tried to give this plugger some songs that have not been placed that were less popular that I still love, and see, if that works. But you never know. So that is those. Now I work also with my PRO reps. So let me take a drink. So my PROs, yesterday I was actually on in a university class that I was speaking at that's given by my former PRO rep from CSAC. And we were discussing the fact that people want a lot from their PRO reps, because really the whole business of a performing rights organization is to collect and distribute your money. Anything else they do is gravy. So here's another situation where if your PRO people are not doing things for you, like connecting you with this and this and that, you can't really get angry with them, because it's not really their job. Their job's to get you paid. But sometimes, like this amazing person, you can get a PRO rep who gets on your side and connects you with other writers, with artists, with opportunities. And that has happened for me in my career many, many times. And I've been at all three American PROs. And I actually, I think there's some Canadians here. I actually know the people at Caan too. And so if you make friends with the PROs in Austria, whatever company you're in, you might get someone who helps you. And that is super awesome and connects you with some cool opportunities, maybe a TV show placement. They'll do all kinds of things if you're really polite and grateful and understand that it's really not their job, but they want to help the creatives because that's why they're working there, to help songwriters, right? PROs are all about songwriters and publishers. So producers, that's not their job. Artists, that's not their job, but writers and publishers, that's their job. So I recommend everybody who's a member of a PRO, go and meet them. You can now meet them online. It doesn't matter if you meet them on person, on a Facebook, on a telephone call, on an email, because personally, I hate the phone and do everything by email. I don't do all this in-person stuff hardly ever. So definitely connect with them, find out who's, and there are local PRO reps in local states, in everybody's states pretty much. And there are, even in other countries, there are American PROs, like in England and in, I think, France and in Germany. Yeah, I have a German rep who's a CSAC rep, but he happens to be in Germany. So there's this whole network going on that we can all connect with to further our stuff. And then, of course, there are music publishers. So we all know, like, hopefully we know what a writer's share is and a publisher's share. And hopefully we know that if we don't have an outside publisher, we own our own publishing. So being that, for sync, that is the way to go. So you really don't, I don't advise anyone to want to get a publishing deal even if they pay you in advance and you think that's going to be awesome, remember it's always in advance and you got to get the money back. They're going to get that money back. So it's not like free money. I don't really recommend it. I've had publishing deals in the past, and in the end, they encumbered the songs, made it very difficult for the placements, charged too much, took too long to get back to the music supervisors, the deals fell apart, and that's what happens all the time. Even now, I have a strict policy. I don't write with anyone who has a publishing deal. It's like the first thing I ask them, do you have a publishing deal? So I don't advise that, but publishers are super nice and they mean really well. And the creatives in the publishing company have helped me in the beginning of my career, setting me up with some things. And sometimes you can make friends with some publishers who will set you up with other opportunities, even if you're not their writer, because they're just super nice people. So, but basically those are the key players that we have. And does anybody have any questions about all of that I just kind of spewed out?
So we just real quick, just on what you were saying about the PROs, they were wondering if you prefer CSAC to BMI and ASCAP, which one, you prefer, or what your thoughts are on that.
Okay, great. So let me just, okay, I saw you chatting to me, but only see it now. So sorry, Brianna.
No, I just put that in there. You're good.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so as you can see, I'm very honest too. Okay, I am a CSAC writer. I love CSAC. I have been with CSAC for 20 years. CSAC rocks. So I was a BMI writer for 16 years. I actually would not have changed had BMI not tossed me out. And why did actually the then person who ran BMI tossed me out? He's gone now. I can go back to BMI if I wanted to, but he tossed me out because I know how to audit my statements, and I was always getting adjustments. And every quarter I'd come with this long list of all the things they didn't pay me for, which in my course I'm also going to teach people how to do. And I would have this long, massive list, and they would adjust it. And finally, he got fed up and said, this is your money and you deserve it and you should have it. But I am sick and tired of adjusting your statements and sending you adjustment checks every quarter. And so you have to go. So that was the best thing in a way that ever happened to me at that time, because I joined CSAC. And when I joined CSAC, I told the rep that I was joining with, I'm going to audit you every quarter, every check, every statement, and show you that what's missing. And she said to me, I love an empowered songwriter. I love that. So I told her up front because I wanted to make sure she understood that I was going to do this, because I didn't want her to be surprised. And it was an awesome situation. Unfortunately, she's not there anymore, but she was awesome. And it was great that I was able to sign that way. I love CSAC, and I love CSAC because they're smaller. Because if I need a cue sheet, I can actually write them and ask them and say, I cannot get this cue sheet from the production company. Usually I can get them, but sometimes I can't get them. Or maybe I saw that a song of mine was used from a library and they didn't tell me, which they usually don't tell you. And I didn't get paid for it. Do you have a cue sheet? So that's awesome, because at BMI and ASCAP, to ask them for a cue sheet is almost impossible. They don't want to give it to you. Now, ASCAP, well, I will backtrack, because now ASCAP, which I don't recommend if you write vocal music at all, because they pay vocals as background music unless it's a full feature. But ASCAP has the best portal for cue sheets. So in a way, I'm grateful that I spent 1 year at ASCAP, because all my cue sheets are in the ASCAP portal. Now, even the new ones. It's an amazing thing that ASCAP does that BMI doesn't do at all, and CSAC only does for 3 quarters back, and they don't have even all of them from then. But ASCAP is they generate a cue sheet. They don't have the original cue sheets, but they generate a cue sheet from every cue sheet they get, and it's amazing. So that is an awesome thing that I wish BMI and CSAC did. So the problem with So other than that, BMI is great. BMI is great. I probably would have stayed had this not happened. It turned out that it happened, and I actually love CSAC. So, and I think it was a better move and a better situation for me, because I'm so hands-on with my business to be able to contact people there, specific people, and have them pay attention to me personally, because like, you know, CSAC only has like 30,000 writers. And they're the second oldest. Everybody thinks they're the newest, but they're not. BMI is newer than CSAC. But BMI and ASCAP have like hundreds of thousands of writers. So ASCAP pays a visual vocal. I'm not sure if you all know what a visual vocal is, but I'll tell you, a visual vocal is to ASCAP only when something is on camera. So if I'm on camera singing it at a concert, if I'm on on Kelly and Ryan, and I perform it there, that's the full feature, or my artist does. It doesn't have to be me, of course. If your artist is performing it, or if it's a montage, and a montage is a major TV or a film sequence where there is no dialogue, just a song driving the picture, and the song is very loud, that's a full feature. And also if somebody in the dialogue mentions the song, for instance, they say, I love that song when they're driving in the car, or I hate that song, or that song always gives me goosebumps, or whatever. If they mention the song, it becomes a full feature, even if there's dialogue over it. But other than that, to ASCAP, everything is background, and they pay that 10 times less than BMI and CSAC. So if you are a writer, a film composer, and you write instrumental music, or if you just write instrumental pop music, then ASCAP is rocking. It's awesome. They pay great. But if you're a writer of vocal songs like I am, I was at ASCAP for a year and lost thousands, and I worked on a soap, sometimes I lose thousands of dollars a day on that show because of ASCAP, and I ran out of there in a year. So, and ASCAP has other things that are difficult for me, but if, you know, when we take the course or we do something privately, we can chat more about that, because I don't want to take more time. But those are the American PROs. The rest of the world, every country only has one PRO. So in a way, it's kind of, I think, better, because they don't have a choice. They have to join it, and they do their job. And of course, in another way, in America, we're all about competition and all about choices. So, you know, now we have to weigh all these gazillion choices that come our way. So that's the PRO question.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a question on, can you change PROs? Obviously you changed PRO, but it's because you quote unquote got kicked out. But I mean, can somebody just—
Yeah, but you can change PRO, yes.
Can you just start putting your music into a new PRO? Or do
No.
you have to pull all your music and then—
No.
No?
No.
So tell us.
So what happens when you want to switch PROs is usually you cannot pull the music that's already there. Usually you can change, but you proceed forward with new songs only. There are special circumstances, of course mine, but mine was a ridiculous one. I don't think that's ever happened to anybody. I think that for most people, if you have a really good connection at the PRO, let's say you're at ASCAP and you really want to change and you discuss with them, they might with a big capital letters let you out. It's pretty rare, pretty rare that you can take any of the songs that you have there with you. So let's say you're joining BMI. It's very hard to join CSAC these days. So CSAC is very much wanting to have writers who already have a track record, but you never know. So I always say, give it a go. And BMI, you can join. But okay, so let me backtrack. That ASCAP has a 1-year policy, 1-year writer's policy, 1-year publisher's policy. So all you have to do is see the date that you joined, and then that's your out date as well. Your in date is your out date. And then you go online. Now, it used to be so difficult to change PROs, but now you can do it all online. You just go online and you see, they give you information and steps. It's something like 60 days in advance of this or that, or, you know, but it says it right online. just Google how to resign from ASCAP or BMI, how to resign from it. Super easy. And now BMI, however, it's different because they have a 2-year writer contract and a 5-year publisher contract. So it's a little trickier to change, and you have to wait. You might, if it's, if you were a BMI starting yesterday, you have 2 years instead of 1 year. So, but you just have to, again, read about the specs online, and they'll tell you how to change. And it used to be very difficult. It's become much more simple. SESAC has 3-year contract, 3-year writer, 3-year publisher. So, but those are the only differences in that. You can change for sure. And people switch back and forth a lot, which I don't recommend because your foreign gets all confused and messed up if you have a lot of stuff out there. So, but that's that.
All right, so let's move on, because you did talk a little bit about cue sheets, and I know there's a lot of questions here, but if we're going to cover cue sheets and metadata, we need to keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I will also include Michelle's email address.
I forgot one thing. You can only, because you mentioned this, Brianna, you can only be a writer at one PRO at a time. So if you're a writer at ASCAP, you cannot be the writer at BMI. You have to resign from ASCAP and join BMI as a writer. But you can be a publisher at any PRO if you are publishing other people's music. So if Brianna, it turns out that Brianna becomes my publisher, are you ASCAP?
I'm BMI.
Oh, you're BMI. Okay, so I'm CSAC. Brianna can then have a CSAC publishing company because now she's publishing a CSAC writer. So that's how it works. So like you can have past publishing catalogs, because if you were at ASCAP and changed to BMI, your old songs are going to be at ASCAP, so you'll have an ASCAP catalog, but you can't be putting new songs in that ASCAP catalog unless they're somebody else's songs that you're publishing. So it's kind of confusing, all this stuff, but that's the basics. Sorry. Yes, Brianna, what's next?
Okay, so yes, we're going to keep moving along. And
whip me into shape.
Metadata and cue sheets is sort of the next topic that people are really curious about. And obviously there are a lot of questions, and we are going to be keeping this to the hour, and we want time for Michelle to let you guys know about her new coaching course that is happening starting next week. Because I'm sure a lot of you want to work with Michelle. I'm leaving in the comments or the chat right now Michelle's email address. So if for some reason we don't get to any questions, you can email her your question. And Michelle's amazing that she is like, yeah, send me your questions.
Yeah, it's super
She honestly
fun.
loves to just like get.
Yeah,
so.
that's why I have Brianna to hone me in and stop me, because, I give all the milk away. So, anyway,
on, you got this.
No, you're the best, Brianna. Thank you for moving it along. So, where do you want me to start about the cue sheet? Just what it is?
Yeah, probably what it is and why it's important.
Okay, so the cue sheet is God. In sync, the cue sheet is God. If you don't have a cue sheet, you are not getting paid. If the cue sheet is not correct, you are not getting paid. So the cue sheet basically, and the problem with cue sheets are that they're all done in different formats. So there is not one system of a cue sheet, which music supervisors have been trying to have made for years and years and years and years. But every production company, every network, every music supervisor, every composer, because composers make these sheets up too, all have their own way of doing it. Some do it in Excel, some hand type it, some still hand write them, some just type them in a Word document. I mean, so basically there are lots of mistakes, but the cue sheet comes from every episode of every television show, every film, every ad, except ads sometimes don't call them cue sheets. They list the name of the song in, like, let's say, so songs are cues. Some people say, what's the difference? Well, once a song is in a film or a TV show, they kind of become a cue. So they're all listed. Like most cue sheets start with the theme song or the opening title song that you hear on a television show or in a movie. That's usually the first song listed on the cue sheet. It's going to list the name of that song, the writers of that song, the publishers of that song, sometimes the artist of that song. It doesn't need to list the artist because the artist is not getting paid from that at all, but the artist of the song. It'll list the timing of the song. How long was it? It was in this episode or this film 51 seconds, okay? Or it might be in 2 seconds, but it's going to list that, or it might be in 4 minutes, but whatever, it's going to list that. Then it's actually going to list the timing of the time code, that it started maybe at 4 minutes and 7 seconds into the production, and it went to 4 minutes and 8 seconds, and it's gonna list that so that you can see it that way as well. Some cue sheets vary, some might not have that, but a lot of them do. It's going to list the performing rights societies of the writers and the publishers. Sometimes that's listed in the same box with the writers and the publishers, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a whole separate file that just says PRO, and the PROs are listed there. And it's going to list the use of the song, which is super important. The use, like the visual vocal, VV, that we mentioned before, or VI, which is a visual instrumental, a BV, a background vocal, a BI, a background instrumental. It's going to list a closing themes, if it's a bumper before a commercial, if it's an end title. It's going to list all these things, and that makes a big difference because the PROs have different pay rates for every usage. It's also going to, and they also, the PROs have different pay rates for if it's prime time, daytime, but that's not on the cue sheet because, of course, the show might air in prime time and re-air on another network or stream at daytime. So that's not on the cue sheet. But the problems with the cue sheets are often misspellings, and or they get the PRO wrong, which is a major issue. Because let's say I write a song with Brianna and they list us both as BMI, but I'm not BMI. Because all these cue sheets are made in different formats, there's actually people at the PROs who manually input this information into their database. So because they're exhausted and they're doing 8 million cue sheets, they're just looking down for BMI. They're not looking for CSAC. So when the CSAC person sees BMI, they're going to leave me out. They're not going to see that that was my name and my cue because they don't have enough time to look for my name. So we have to make sure the PRO's information is correct. Also, then we have to make sure our names are correct because now once CSAC sees CSAC on the cue sheet, if they don't see my name on it, then they're not going to pay me either because they're not going to know that that was my song. And that happens a lot too. Now, sometimes the song might be in a music library and the music library retitled the song and they didn't remember to register it at CSAC. Okay, now I'm not going to get paid for that. And even if they used the real song title, maybe I forgot to register it as CSAC. Oh my God. So there's another advantage of CSAC is actually a lot of times they'll notice that and they'll register the song for you or they'll write you and tell you to do it. So BMI and ASCAP will never do that. So if your name is not on that cue sheet correctly and the song isn't registered in your account, you are not going to be paid. So basically, that's basically what the cue sheet is. And the cue sheets are made sometimes by the music supervisors, but not often. A lot more often by the composers or the productions of the shows, someone that's maybe the post-production supervisor, but sometimes the music supervisors. Whoever makes that cue sheet, you need it. And the PROs need it. And definitely, it is the god of getting paid from sync. So that's what a cue sheet does. And now, Brianna, you want me to talk about metadata?
Well, yeah, and actually also regarding the cue sheet. So for example, if someone, you know, how do they find the cue sheet if it's they're so hard to find? Like,
well, a lot of contracts, almost all of my licenses, and pretty much if it's a nice license, is going to tell you they're going to provide you the cue sheet once the project has been released. I have one cue sheet right now that I cannot seem to get. The music supervisors don't write me back. You know, they wrote me when they wanted the song. They wrote me when they want to, you know, do all the paperwork. They wrote me to get the waves, but they won't write me back about the cue sheet. So there you go. So now I'm trying to get it CSAC to see if they can get it. I'm trying to write the pub production company and see if they can get it. So sometimes they're really hard. I'm looking on ASCAP, that wonderful ASCAP database, to say, do they have it? You can't look if you're not an ASCAP member though. So in other words, like I have to go log into my own account and then I can see the cue sheets, but at least I'm trying that way. So that's another way. Sometimes it's very difficult. But usually the music supervisor will provide you with the cue sheet if you licensed it direct with the music supervisor. And usually you'll find it at your PRO if you have a nice person there and they might help you. But you got to get it. That's all I can say. I mean, you even got to say to BMI or ASCAP if they're not helping you, look, I wrote the production. They told me I have to get it from you because ASCAP and BMI are going to tell you to get it from the music supervisor or the production. They're going to tell you that that is your job as a songwriter to get the cue sheet. And then the production is going to say to you, no, your PRO has the cue sheet. I'm not going to provide you with it. You should get. So basically what it is that it's a song and dance. It's sort of like finding the music supervisor and pitching the song. I mean, it's all research and you're all trying to connect the dots. And if the song is placed through a music library, usually you have to inform them that there's no cue sheet filed or that you didn't get paid, because if you didn't get paid, they didn't get paid. So just remember that. So they're interested in this information because they didn't get paid either. So then they will go trying to find a cue sheet, and they might not share it with you from the music libraries. They might not share it with you, but at least maybe they'll find it and make sure and tell you that they submitted it to your PRO. So does that kind of answer the question? I mean, these things are difficult, you know, but I pretty much have 99% of my cue sheets. So, you know, after much struggling, I'll probably get this one I can't get too. So, because you just got to try.
Absolutely.
And that
Okay.
the playing field is equal. It's equal. You know, it's not, oh, because I'm me, I can get that. It's equal.
So there's really not one way to get the cue sheet. There's like multiple avenues.
But whatever you do, Brianna, get the cue sheet, because if you don't get the cue sheet, you're not going to get paid. And I see so many writers heartbroken going, I saw it on TV and I still can't get paid. And it certainly happens.
Okay, why don't you jump into metadata? We have a few more minutes left, and I want to make sure that we have a time to answer a couple questions as well. So metadata seems very confusing to me, but again, some of these people here are way more advanced than I am when it comes to sync and music licensing. But
yeah, there's a lot of people who are advanced here for sure. Yeah. So metadata is also so super important and something new. It's really pretty newfangled. You know, 10 years ago, there was no metadata. Now you know, you have to put it in your iTunes. If you use iTunes, I pitch everything out of my iTunes, even if it goes into Disco or Dropbox or Hightail or wherever it's going. I mean, I am sliding it out of my iTunes. So in my iTunes, there's a place where you can, it says song info, input the metadata. And metadata is basically all the same stuff that's on the cue sheet. It's your name, the artist's name, your writing information, your PRO information, your publishing information, your publishing PRO information, the genre. Then we get to more detailed things like the genre of the song. That is not on the cue sheet, but the music supervisors want to have that information. So you want to put in what the genre is. Now in iTunes, you have to make it up yourself. There's not like something you can click that says pop, that says R&B, that says rap. You have to write it in what it is. In that box, you can also put the year it was created, which I don't suggest because sometimes that can prejudice the song. So I leave that out unless somebody's asking me specifically. I can only use songs that took place between 1980 and 85. Be honest, send me those. Then I'll tell them, they'll ask me, but I don't put it in the metadata. Some people do. It's also going to ask you the BPMs, which you can or don't have to do. You can put in the key if you want. There's a description box on the bottom that's kind of multi-purpose because there's really not a place to put your contact information. But in that description box, you also want to say something like, girl vocal, up tempo, inspiring, empowering, happy, fun. And then you want to put your contact information, and in that box you can also put who owns the master. That's super nice to have for them to see up front who owns the master. The funny thing about all this metadata is that every time I license anything, no music supervisor has ever gone by the metadata that I provide them. They write me and say, what's the the publishing information? They're not even using it. So it's a kind of a double-edged sword. It's kind of strange in that way. But a lot of music placement libraries that I work with now, the non-exclusive ones, are asking me for all this information in an Excel spreadsheet. So what might really be awesome for you, especially if your catalog is not so big, mine is so big when they ask for this, if I don't have all the information they need, because now all of a sudden somebody wants BPMs. Okay, I have this whole spreadsheet, but I didn't have those. Now I've got to go find all those. Oh, then someone else like 2 weeks ago needed the keys of every song. Oh my God, now I've got to go, through 1,000 songs and get all the keys. So, but I would suggest, do it now. Make an Excel sheet, just like your song, like a song list of all your songs in your catalog, and whether it's one song or 1,000 songs, it doesn't matter. And start doing this. And I can, if any of you write me, I will send you a blank metadata Excel sheet so that it will have all the categories. So you can just, fill in the blanks. So it's not just a blank Excel with nothing on it. Obviously, we all have that. But this actually is a metadata Excel sheet, and I recommend that. The thing about the metadata is that that's a lot of times a music library more than a music supervisor, because music supervisor is getting to pitch directly, is going to organize their music the way they want it. And when you're pitching the song directly, you're going to tell them what it is up front. You're going to tell them. And if you use disco, you can put it in the metadata there too. But again, a lot of times they really don't look at that. Everybody thinks they do, but they don't really. So if I'm going to send them a link on disco, I'm going to put in the comments where I write them their personal message. The song is up tempo, inspiring, happy, fun, girl power. I'm going to write that in there. They're going to see that sooner than they're going to go diving into the metadata. But the Excel sheet, because the music libraries use them. Because if a music supervisor or editor, and music editors use, we didn't touch on them, but music editors use libraries a lot when they're throwing music in really quickly. They're going to search in the music libraries on their website, in their metadata box. They're going to search happy, fun, empowering. And they're going to throw some keywords in there, and then they're going to find a bunch of songs, and they're going to listen to those and not listen to all the other 100,000 songs in there. And that's how the metadata narrows down all the information. So that's why for some circumstances, especially music libraries, it's super important. And the music libraries, like if you submit something to Crucial, you're going to see up front, they're asking you, they have things you click for all the lingo that they use for their metadata, because different companies use different words, keywords too. So there's no standard in that, but that's basically what it does. And that's the quick of it. Is that cool?
That's
I
awesome.
hope.
No, I know there's so much.
It's also so much. It's exhausting. Yeah.
So
But can be learned.
Daniel was asking, how many tracks is a huge catalog?
Well, if a person has a huge catalog, like a personal catalog, a huge music library catalog is 400,000 songs. But for someone like me, I have a huge catalog as a small person. There's maybe now there's 1,100 songs in my catalog that I own, because there's hundreds and hundreds I've done for other purposes and work for hires that I don't own. But that's my catalog. That's pretty big for an individual songwriter's catalog. So if you have 20 songs, 50 songs, that's not big, but that's very small, but that's enough to pitch from.
Okay, that's great. And then also Scotty was asking how important the year is. You touched upon the year. He said he doesn't want to list this if he's submitting something he wrote in 2018, which is unreleased, just in case they're not, or only looking for something from 2020.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can release the song. You don't have to tell them you wrote it in 2019. When people ask me for EDM and pop dance songs, I send them songs. Some of them are 10 years old, but they sound awesome and modern, and they're still getting placed. So you don't have to fess up unless they are asking you, because they don't care either. It doesn't matter to them if it fits the cue and the producers and directors and they love the song and think it's rockin', then just send them. I mean, for sure, every time I create a new song, I'm sending the new song. So then they know it's new because I'm writing it's a new song and they're getting it, today, 2020. But, they don't care. But to announce it in the metadata, I don't suggest unless they require it.
That's great. And I don't
Mhm.
know, this may not be related to metadata, but how do you get ISRC and ISWC numbers?
Okay, so both of them have a website. It's in just .com, isrc.com. I paid I think it was like $99 for a lifetime membership to get the codes. Now, it's an interesting thing about those codes. I have never once been asked for a code with 5,000 placements in 40 years. I've never once been asked for a code for a song placement. It's more for streaming and Sound Exchange wants those ISRC codes, and those codes, so you have to have those for them. But for song placing and pitching, I never have been asked. And when I have been asked, it's optional. So that's an interesting thing, isn't it? And so I had to get them for some purpose. And so you just buy a lifetime, subscription to it. That's how you do it. And then you get the codes.
That's great. And then last question before we talk about your course, and then we might have time for a few more questions. Michèle, how do you even find out about your placements and track them? Like when you audit your PRO, you seem to be really on top of this. Like how, you were saying that you can find money, like people are running stuff that, they didn't tell you about, and you always find all your money. So
yeah, I find all of it. I don't
that.
always get all of it because sometimes they don't want to give it to me, but I always find it pretty much. But you can only find money from TV. You cannot find money from streaming or from the radio, because those are all based on algorithms, and and it's the little black hole. It's the little dark secret. You cannot find those counts. But you can't find them like on Hulu, from Netflix, but on regular TV and on cable TV, you can find them, because when a TV show airs, and it could be a film on a TV show, a sports event on a TV show, whatever airs on television, it airs and it pays. Now, how do I know that it aired? First, I use two things. I use tvguide.com, and I use something called Zap to It. I use that because Zap to It is the free service by Tribune Music Services, and CSAC uses that service to pay and get their information of the TV show airings. So I have a list, and I have it in my head now, but I have a list of my TV show placements, film placements, all my placements, what episodes they're in, what songs were in them. And every week on Saturdays, I do it. I go through these things, tvguide.com and Zap to It, and I research the episodes of a show that air. Like in zaptoit.com, you can actually have my shows and compile a database of your shows. And then when that episode comes up, I actually copy and paste it by hand into a Word document, because there's no way to transfer that from there. But I copy and paste it, and I make my own spreadsheet. And then I also use a service called tunesat.com, tunesat.com. And with that, it fingerprints your songs and in real time comes up. So while we're sitting here right now, if General Hospital is airing and one of my songs is in the episode today, it's going to pop right up in my portal on TuneSat, and I'm going to see that. So then I'm going to be able to know. They don't tell me that it's airing in General Hospital because my songs are in their library. So we're talking about libraries. So they're not going to call me, write me, tell me they used my song today. So I'm going to see they used it because it's in my TuneSat. I'm going to put that in that file that I'm making. I make it quarterly because we get paid, all the PROs pay quarterly. So I'm going to put that in my file. And there's also a company called BMAT, which BMAT, which does the same thing as TuneSat, fingerprints the songs. And there's also a company called Source Audio. They watermark the songs. So you might want to look into that if you've not had any placements before or only a couple, because the watermarking is not retroactive. The fingerprinting is. So the watermarking is kind of useless for me because all the songs that I've already had placements in, I'll never find them detected because the watermarking isn't retroactive, but the fingerprinting will. So if I had a song in Mad About You in 1987, like I have, it will, if I just inputted it today into the system, now every time Mad About You airs, it will show me. So that's basically some systems. I compile all of those when I get my statement, my royalty statement at the end of the quarter. I'm able to A/B. Here's everything that was for that quarter. And it's not current because, of course, the PROs pay retro. So BMI just paid third quarter 2019. CSAC just paid fourth quarter 2019. So now I'm going to go to, fourth quarter 2019 to this Word document that I put all this stuff in, and I'm going to A/B it. And, you'd say, oh, my God, that takes forever. Well, to be honest with you, now it doesn't for me because I've got it to a system. It takes a few hours. And now I'm able to see, and then I can put in maybe an Excel spreadsheet what didn't pay. And Amira, no, BMAT, BMAT. Yeah. So that's basically that very quickly.
Awesome. Okay, well, listen, we have so many questions, and I went ahead and I included the link to the 2-hour Q&A we had last week inside the chat. It's a great,
yeah, maybe we answered some of the stuff.
Yes, there are a few questions I'm seeing that were answered last week. So again, this replay on YouTube is available to all of you, and really, I'm pretty sure it's a public. We created that public for everyone, so you guys can check that out. And again, you can also email her. Her email address is right there on the screen, and I also put that in the chat as well. And I just want to take a moment to, touch on this awesome course that Michèle is launching next week. And it's an online coaching course where literally she's going to be holding your hand, being there for questions, walking you through the whole process, her process, and spending, 20 weeks with you to make sure that you're really setting yourself up for, a sustainable strategy for your sync and licensing.
Yeah, with the right songs, the right productions, exactly. All this information that we've been talking about today, but much, much more, because there's so much more involved. And this way you won't be just floundering around, taking all this information that I give you in every other webinar you watch is giving you all this information, but it's so much, and we're going to handheld through this process so that you really have success doing it, because if not, it's kind of a drag. I want you to have success. There's lots of work to go around.
Absolutely. And I know you say that a lot, there's so much, everyone on this call, you can clearly see that she's touching on 2 topics. She touched on metadata and cue sheets. And from that, and then of course the players, but we're past the hour mark and she could be talking for hours. It's so in depth, which is why she wanted to create this online course and online coaching opportunities, because there is so much. And you can be on this call, and that's terrific. And I hope it supports you, and I hope it gives you value. But at the end of the day, when it comes to implementing, you might need support. And if you're someone who needs support to really get a handle on this, then I highly recommend that you check it out. And I will put the course information in here as well. Michèle, can you also tell us what they're going to get when they sign up?
Yeah, for sure. First, I have to send a big shout out to Trevor Gale. Trevor is in the house. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's one of my former CSAC reps, and he's the most awesome human in the world. So everyone say hi to Trevor. What's up, Trevor? Yo. Okay. So the course is going to be all about everything we're talking today and more. The thing mostly that I'm going to give you that I feel is going to be the thing that is the most valuable is when the course is done, you are all going to have forever access to me who took the course, forever access to write me and go, oh my God, look what this person wrote me. This didn't go well. What did I do? Or, oh my goodness, I'm following all these steps, but did I leave something out? or you taught me all of this, but I don't know where to go from here, because I've been in contact with a lot of people who took some other courses in the last couple of weeks, and I've been so dismayed by what they don't know and the fact that they got kind of dropped like a hot potato, that I just decided that's not who I am. Who I am is, like Brianna said, I could be here for 8 hours giving, talking, telling you, answering, because that's who I am. And so I want to make sure that whoever takes the course really gets the value out of it, which in the value is getting their music placed. Because if I just drop you after 20 weeks and say, see ya, that was fun, that's not going to be helpful. So I'm so excited to offer this to everyone who's enrolled already, because there are people here today and who couldn't make it today, but who are enrolled, and everybody who does that. I'm so going to do that, and so make sure you only succeed in this. So if you have the drive and desire, you are going to succeed. That's all I can say. Obviously, if you don't put in the work, right? Like I was saying to Brianna, I don't usually take a do-it-yourself kind of course, because I need Brianna to hold my hand. I'm not good with that, but some people are good with that. So this is not a do-it-yourself. This is like, I am here and I am going to be there for you.
Absolutely. Are there any questions about the course? If so, put them in the chat. And like I said, there were so many questions today, and we could spend another hour or two doing this, just like we did. So I would highly recommend for you to check out the replay from last week. Definitely check out her course.
Let's put in the link to the course. I'm sure they might not have it, but let's just put in the link.
Yep, I did.
Okay, and then you can read more about it, and you can just see what it is and read more about it. And my whole credit sheet, also, you can click on it and you can see all the silly things I've done that in the past. So
yeah, I love that. Daniel, you just said, I'm encouraged by what she just said. I took the course on my faith in her. And I love that you say that, Daniel. And I know I'm so excited to have you in the course. Because at the end of the day, Michèle has placed over 5,000 songs and in film and TV, amongst other, platforms. So she kind of—
Trevor here will tell you how
hard
I
knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
On top of that, she's got the biggest heart ever. And she truly, this is one of her biggest pet peeves, is that so many people in the sync and licensing world aren't giving that one-on-one support, and aren't, like she said, dropping them like hot potatoes, So this is really important to Michèle, because she truly does want your success. And again, if you're someone who A, is like ready to put the work in, and B, is someone who really does desire that support and wants to, like, for once and for all, get the support that they need, but then also create some strong, momentum for their music careers, then
and strong music. Because for the people here who were at the Sync Cafe that I heard their music today, I was blown away. I was blown away by how many talented people, and all the songs that were played today were viable. There wasn't one bad one, and that was recorded poorly in any way in the group. And that's so important. We're going to work on that to make sure all our songs are amazing like that, so that they'll be undeniable for the shot, to get the shot. We can't guarantee anything, of course, but we have to have all our ducks in a row.
Well, and I think another thing that you were saying in terms of the course was, like, inside the course, you're also going to be talking about the types of songs that place. So it's not just, we're just going to focus on sync. We're actually going to be carving out, lots of time to create music that will potentially place, because you're going to be describing.
Exactly. And the same if you want to write for artists. I, of course, do write for artists and do have success with artists. So it doesn't have to be sync too. We can focus for both. And I think that's really important, because I think it's kind of sad that we don't keep all our possibilities open in this amazingly big musical world that we have.
Absolutely. And then
yes.
To answer your question, Yasmin, the class is going to be Zoom, just like this. It's Michèle's going to create a weekly call, and there are payment options. And when you go to that link, which I just shared, you will be able to see what all the options are inside.
Right, and the class also includes weekly written coaching. So I want everybody to be sending me music that they're working on that week, a song a week. then it can be the same song in 2 for 2, it doesn't matter, but whatever you're working on, so that we make sure that these songs come out incredible and that you get feedback on the songs. And also we're having a private Facebook group where everyone can chat, ask right type questions, maybe give me a suggestion for the next class on what it is they feel they're up to and missing, all that kind of stuff. We're going to cover everything. And again, if you think we didn't cover everything, I'm going to still be there, so you can check in afterwards and get more of everything. I'm not holding anything back. I'm going to share with you everything I own. Everything I know, which is sort of the same thing. And hopefully anything I learn new, because I read and interact with all these platforms every day, and I learn new things every day about all kinds of new platforms and startups and exciting possibilities that I'm going to share with you, so you don't have to be doing all that research, because I'm already doing it. So that's, to me, so exciting. There's so many cool new ways to monetize our music and make beautiful music too. It doesn't have to be all just for money. They should be amazing, and we should be proud of them too.
Absolutely. So you're going to get coaching, you're going to get song critiques, you're going to get unlimited forever access to her on email, and you're also going to get community, because you're going to be in a private Facebook group where not only can you learn from Michèle, but you'll also be able to learn from one another and support each other.
And the people who've signed up are super
powerhouses.
talented. Powerhouses.
Yes.
They are so talented. Some of them just need to know how to do it, but their music is amazing and their drive is amazing and everything is there. So it's super exciting for everyone to be able to network. Like if you're on the Sync Cafe, like everyone does on the Sync Cafe, it's super cool. So this is going to be all of that. And I'm really excited to do it.
Awesome. Well, okay. So by now everyone should have Michèle's email address. If you have any further questions about the course, please reach out to Michèle on her email address. And I included the link inside the chat. You can grab the link to her course to check it out and hopefully enroll, because it starts next week. So now is the time. It's going to close up on Sunday. And thanks everyone for being here. If you have any further questions that didn't get answered today, please send them to Michèle. And it's been a real pleasure having you. Thank you for sticking around.
Super fun. Kisses, everybody. Brianna, thank you so much. You're the best.
I love you.
Thank you. It's so beautiful. Thank you.
I'm going to holler at you. This is Trevor.
No, Trevor, I hear you, baby. You better holler at me, because you are so hard to get a hold of. So, somebody just wrote to you here. Trevor, man, you are amazingly disappearing. So the fact that you are here, that's the happiest moment. Thank you so much. I'm blessed. And I want to hear your son. I know your son is doing awesome stuff with his music.
Yeah, he's kind of doing a little something.
I remember when I met him and you brought him to my studio, so I'm so excited to hear it.
Yeah, I'm just very proud of you and what you're doing and the knowledge that you're sharing with everybody. And I mean, Michèle is an expert at all of the things that you heard her talk about, like an expert, like Dr. Fauci or something. She is the top person that knows all the ins and outs of this business. So I'm just proud of you and thankful that you're sharing with all the people that you are sharing.
And I'm thankful for you and all the contacts you've made for me and everything for all those years of working with you, Trevor. I'm so grateful.
That's my pleasure.
I can't believe you're here. I'm so honored. Linda will be so excited. Thank you.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
You too. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. It's so cool.
Thank you, Trevor. Okay, well, thank you.
Oh, and may I spew? I got a producer nomination today from the HMMA Award, so I'm so excited. I should have told Trevor while he was here. It's for a rap song that I did. God. Yeah, I'm working with this rapper, man. Trevor, he's the real deal. He's from DC. He came here. I have to send it to you. He's a super cool. Conscience, the MC, his name is.
Conscience, okay.
He's awesome. The older guy. He's amazing.
Yeah.
So yay. So me and Suzanne, we both got noms today, and that's super exciting.
That's beautiful.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Let's get
Suzanne's
a big
here too.
Good job, Susan, Michelle.
Yay, rock on.
Amazing.
So thank you, Brianna. I won't keep you, Brianna. I know you have to go. So.
Oh no, we're fine. We're fine. Listen,
Are we good?
we appreciate everyone being here. And Trevor, those words were so kind, and it brought a tear to my eye. And I don't even know you, so thank you.
You're welcome.
No, you should know Trevor is the best. Trevor is the real deal. All good, all real. Yeah.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you.
We appreciate you all.